Since the resurgence of skateboarding, the sport's popularity has prompted development of world-class skate parks across the United States. Here at home, it was obvious to Bowling Green city officials and skateboard enthusiasts that a proper place of recreation was needed. On today's edition of Spotlight on Bowling Green, we'll take a look at the new Bowling Green skate park.
We knew that in order to have a successful skate park, you had to have local input for it. That was the key to the whole project. So that's how we got started. We put ads in the paper. We logged the people that called us. We called them, told them to bring their friends down, and just through word of mouth and public advertisement, assembled a group of local skaters.
They could have just went and built a skate park, but they, from the beginning, wanted a top-notch skate park. Because you don't want to build some rinky-dink skate park that I've skated in other cities. They just don't get used, and it's embarrassing. So they, from the get-go, said, we're going to do it right, and that's what we're getting. We started getting together, having meetings with Ernie Guvis and people in the community, and it just kept spreading and spreading. So in Slim Nash, and just talking about exactly what we wanted and what we needed and what we had. And Ernie and Slim Nash were both very, very positive about the whole thing, that we were going to build the best skate park we could get.
We assembled a group, and like I said, we had several meetings with them. And number one, we wanted to identify what parks they'd visited and find out who designed those parks and what elements of those parks did they really enjoy. You've got your traditional street plaza parks, then your old school parks with the bowls and things in it. We wanted to find out what most people were going to use. So we kind of went about it from that way. We identified 9 world-class skate park designers. From that, we identified the top ones and wound up hiring Wally Holliday to do the project. Wally was one of the founders of California Skate Parks, which is one of the first companies in the country to build skate parks. So we felt really fortunate with that. Wally's done some skate parks around, this general area, Nashville, some down in Alabama. So the guys that do this all the time and visit some of his parks had really great things to say about him. During his presentation, Wally was just real smooth. He listened. That was the main thing I wanted, was somebody else to listen to our local skaters. Somebody that had the ability to listen, decipher, discern, but guide you through the process, because he's got more experience than anyone here. So he could listen to us plus guide us into making a world-class park.
When I first started designing skate parks back in 1978, they were very much influenced by the fact that we had started riding pools. And so that was kind of like the hot thing to be able to ride pools. But pool riding is a fairly advanced thing. And as skating kind of took off and these pros kind of became the emphasis of what skating was about, that's what we started building in skate parks. It was a lot of pools and very deep things and very advanced things. And I think as much as that pushed skating to a whole new level, I think it kind of left a lot of beginners behind. So a really good skate park has a real variety of shapes. They refer to skate parks as terrain parks because they have a variety of terrain. There's curved surfaces that we refer to as bowls or pools or transitions, and they're very much inspired by the old empty swimming pools. And then there's the very sculptural and geometric shapes that kids skate in downtown plazas. There's a lot of aesthetic architecture that has influenced skateboarding, and a lot of times the appeal of the architecture is what attracts the skaters. Bowling Green's a very unique skate park in that it has a really nice variety of elements to it. A lot of skate parks will have one style of skating available to it. This one's large enough that we were able to incorporate all styles of skating in it, and that makes it kind of unique. Also, the scale in which we were able to do it, it's got some very advanced features, but it's still predominantly has quite a bit of beginner and intermediate skating.
This facility is one of the most impressive ones I've seen in a while. Providing that you compare all technically evenly built skate parks, it basically boils down to design. This one is not only, designed very well from a flow perspective, but has an incredible amount, per square foot, and is pretty unique. I mean, there's a lot of the elements, the individual elements are common to other parks, but the way it's put together is very unique. I think because of the aggressive nature of skateboarding, a lot of people view it as delinquent. But I can say for me personally, skateboarding has helped save my life. When I was a youth, and when you're getting in junior high, high school, and you're tempted with so many things in life that are not healthy for you, that are not good for you, and aren't positive. It gave me something to really to really be able to channel my energies on, any anger or aggression of youth, and that was absolutely vital in my life. And the problem is when you have, you don't have anywhere to do something that means so much to you, it generates nothing but problems. Problems for the individuals who try to do it, problems for the people who own the property where they're trying to do it, et cetera, et cetera. And, being able to provide not only a home for people who skate, but a, really well-built, first-class home that is well-designed, well-thought-out, well-constructed.
These kids work really hard. If you've ever seen how much time a kid spends on a skateboard, they learn tricks over and over and over. They'll spend on a weekend, they'll just all day long, they'll be olling. They'll just try and pop the board up in the air. It's a very incredibly difficult trick. A lot of people look at skateboarders and they look at them doing these amazing things and they just say, I don't understand it. Well, believe what you're seeing, it's really difficult. It's technically very difficult to do these tricks that they're doing. And they've worked really hard at it. And these kids have a lot of free time and they work in a very productive, structured way. In order to learn these tricks, you have to learn certain things before you learn other things. And these kids become very good at imitating one another, and so they're constantly pushing each other. So you've got a very positive kind of peer pressure going on to try and excel.
I have always, through my career, worked with young people, and I believe in kids, no matter how they look, no matter what their background. I believe that kids have an awful lot to contribute to our community here and to society overall. And so my passion stems from that. I'm not a skater. I've never owned a skateboard in my life. In my mind, and what I tried to do when I tried to educate or convince people of the worthiness of the project was, we have pools, we have golf courses, we have swing sets, we have running tracks. These are all publicly taxpayer-supported projects. The skate park, to me, is just another park. I mean, it's obviously a park that I'm passionate about, but it is just another park, like we have other parks that contribute to the quality of life of Bowling Green. And some might say, well, how did you get from there to a skate park? And I think that I get from there to the skate park in that this is a project driven by the young. Not to say that there aren't, 50-year-old skaters out there, but I guarantee you there's more 12-year-old skaters out there than there are 50-year-old skaters out there. And I think that their passion for wanting a place to safely recreate spilled over into my passion that they be treated as if they count and they can contribute.
One of the most positive things that a skate park brings to the community is a place for your kids to hang out. And the other night we were walking through the park and I was giving a tour of it, and there's always a concern that girls don't use skate parks very much. And my response is always that girls don't need the skate parks. It's the young boys that need the skate parks. They need to go break something that they're allowed to break. And being concrete and metal, and it's something they can go out and really get their aggressions out on, and in a very productive way. You see some of these young kids and they're just standing around vibrating, and skating is for those kids that have that high energy and adrenaline, and it's a real good way to get adolescents through a very stressful time. And girls don't seem to need it as much. There are a lot of girl skaters out there now, but certainly there's not as many girls out there as boys. But I just, people worry about vandalism, they worry about what goes on in a skate park. I just look at a skate park like a community center. It's a place to bring all these unorganized people together. Because skateboarding is a very unorganized sport, and it's a lot of individuals that are going out there and doing stuff on their own. And it's a way to kind of organize them in a little bit without really letting them know they're being organized. You're bringing them together, you're giving them the kind of terrain they want to skate, and it allows you to kind of get a little closer to them. I've had a lot of the police and officers come up to me and said, this is a great opportunity for me to get to know these kids. And you know, really, it's a great way for kids to be able to talk to adults.
The Bowling Green Skate Park is located at the intersection of Kentucky and 6th Streets. The park is open every day until 11 p.m. If you have questions about this or any episode of Spotlight on Bowling Green, please call City Hall at 393-3000.